time, the panel discussion is live streamed through YouTube channel. We are providing the YouTube link in the chat box. To start this program at the outset, I would like to welcome Dr. V. Sudharani ma'am, Director of Extension, PJT SAU, Hyderabad. Ma'am will join soon. Dr. Sanjay Kalekar sir, Joint Director Extension, Directorate of Extension, Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Pusa, New Delhi. Sir also join very soon. And all the panelists, Sri Amit Budiraja sir, Sri Sharad Nanapure sir, Sri Nagpal C. Lohakare sir, and all the officers from client states, UTs, and client departments of Southern region. Faculty of EA, Faculty of Department of Agriculture Extension, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar, and SCP members, scientists.
Hello. Is it audible? Hello.
Friends,
Audible.
Vasanta ma'am, is it audible?
It's audible, Vijaya.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sir, it's audible, sir. Please check it your end.
Yes. Yes.
And all the students to this panel discussion. Now I invite our director, Dr. M. Jaganmohan Reddy Garu, to say few words about EI and also about this webinar.
Yeah, good morning to all. Respected Director of Extension of Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Dr. V. Sudharani ma'am, and the Joint Director Extension, the Ministry of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Dr. Sanjay Kalekar, and course coordinator, the webinar coordinators, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi and Dr. Vasanta, the faculty of this institute, panelists, Dr. Amit Budiraja, Sri Nanapure, Dr. Nagpal, Sri Lohakare, EI faculty, the faculty of Department of Agriculture Extension, College of Agriculture, and students, as well as the nominated officials from various client departments of Southern India and UTs. I immensely felt happy to greet all of you for this webinar, which is focused on export management in agri and horticulture sectors. As a part of a series of webinars which we, the EI Hyderabad, has planned to conduct in this year training calendar 2020-23. After the panel discussion on natural farming, after the terrace gardening, terrace, balcony and kitchen gardening, in this year, last year we conducted many webinars in collaboration with the Society of Extension Professionals, Hyderabad. This year also, the webinars are being conducted in collaboration with the SEP, Society of Extension Professionals, the body which has been formed to empower and energize the young extension professionals. So in that connection, today on 19th August, this webinar has been planned on export management. Intentionally and deliberately, looking at how much of space we have to export of our agri and allied commodities which were produced by ever toiling farming community of our country. Because all these times we were focused on pre-production, production technologies, adoption of technologies to increase the production levels. But now, keeping in view of becoming India as a leader in all fronts of agri, and I welcome Dr. Madhubabu, the professor and head of the Department of Extension Education, College of Agriculture, Rajendra Nagar, who has joined recently at present. So, keeping in view of the leading role taken by our country in all spheres of agri and allied sectors, in designing various policies, either in sustainable development goals or framing the policies in the World Economic Forum. So we are taking a pivotal role, and we are the front runners in production in agri, horti, livestock products, whatever it may be. Madam, good morning. Class webinar lo unnaru madam. నేను చెప్తాను, నేను వేరే దగ్గర ఫోన్ చేసి చెప్తాను. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. వసంత గంట ఫోన్ చేసేసి పద్మం ఏం చేస్తా ఉందంటే ఫోన్ లిఫ్ట్ చేయము. Sorry, there was an urgent call. As we are witnessing all these dynamic changes in the international arena. So, but a time has come, we have to focus more on post-harvest technologies, value addition. Thereby, we become fit to export, to exploit the international space to get the foreign exchange by exporting the products in agreed terms, in agreed qualitative terms by the importing countries. So in that context, this particular webinar on export management in agri and horticulture sectors has been planned. I am highly thankful to the panelists as well as the participating officials who took the time to listen carefully from the panelists. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Briefing about the program and its importance. Now we will start the presentations. Srinivas Raj Garandi, please share that PPT. Before start the presentations, I would like to introduce our panelists. I'll give a brief introduction about our panelists. First panelist is Sri Amit Budiraja Garu. Amit Budiraja sir has more than 25 years of experience as entrepreneur, corporate executive, mentor, board member, also with domain expertise in international trade and logistics. Amit has been giving cross-border trade related to training, coaching, business advisor services, and consultancy for agri startups, farmers, FPOs, cooperatives, small and medium enterprises, women entrepreneurs, Fortune 500 companies and startups. He has trained SMEs in India and abroad. He has been associated with numerous capacity building programs for various ministries. He has been a visiting faculty to IIFT Delhi and Kolkata and many other leading management institutes in India, export promotion councils, and he is a CEO EximEdge. Next slide. Second panelist is Sri Sharad Nanapure, founder chairman Forum for Integrated Agriculture Development. He did BSc Agriculture in College of Agriculture, Pune, and he did MSc Horticulture in Marathwada Agriculture University, and he did diploma in grape processing and UC Davis University of California. He did diploma in agriculture processed foods export in Chennai. He organized pan-India region-specific export trainings, and he also organized global agri and food export market exposure visits in Dubai, Qatar, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, and Europe. He was advisor and Agri Processed Foods Export Development Authority in FFV division, New Delhi. He worked as a manager in supply chain development in Airtel subsidiary Field Fresh Foods Private Limited. He also managed 3 lakh liter wine production. He managed exports of grapes, pomegranate, vegetables, and onions. He organized 10 overseas agri and food exposure buyer-seller meets in Gulf, Southeast Asia, and Europe. He created combined 100 plus exporters, service providers, cold storage managers. Some of them are established in the Dubai, Singapore, and Qatar. He is an agri and food export promoter with a strong market linkages background. He is a passionate about agriculture produce value addition by means of exports and its processing. Next. And third panelist is Sri Nagapal C. Lohakare, Assistant General Manager, APEDA, Mumbai. Sir is our regular resource person in our training programs. Sir did MSc Agriculture in Plant Pathology. He completed education from Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh Agriculture University, Akola, Maharashtra. He has 12 years of experience in Maharashtra State Seeds Corporation, Akola, as an assistant field officer. He has 7 years of experience in APEDA, especially in market access, trial shipment of horticulture produce to new markets, sanitary, phytosanitary issues of importing countries. He providing need-based advisory services to the state authorities for implementation of agri-export policy, production of export-worthy and residue-free produce. He is auditing and evaluation of the organic certification bodies accredited by the APEDA. Inspection and visit of meat processing unit, pack house, peanut unit, poultry unit, biscuits, confectionery industry, especially chocolate making. Next slide. He handled foreign delegation visited India to verify the export certification system put in a place. He was the lead instructor for Food Safety Preventive Control Alliance, USA. He represented India in better training for a safer food organized by the European Commission held at Lisbon, Portugal. He represented India with the trade delegations in International Trade Fair, Berlin. Berlin, Sydney, and Colombo. This is brief about our panelists. Now I request Sri Amit Budiraja sir, please give your talk on unlocking opportunities in agri and horticulture exports.
Thank you for inviting me for this very topic, which is a very pertinent topic in today's time. Am I audible, number one, to all of you?
Yes, sir, but it is very low, sir. Voice is very low.
Voice is very low. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me raise the voice from here and see. Is it better now? Is it any better?
Now it's okay, sir. It's okay.
It's okay.
Sir, your presentation is about half an hour, sir.
Okay, wonderful.
After completing all the presentation, we will have the interactive session.
Great. So I have been allocated almost half an hour. I would request participants to switch on their video modes. It's like a classroom. It's a virtual classroom, you know. If you are in EEI physically, all of you would have been present physically, right? So if you are joining an online course, it's like a virtual classroom. You can't sit with your heads down. So my request to all of you first would be to switch on your video modes. That would make us realize that you're really interested in this topic.
Friends,
Right.
please switch on the videos.
To all the participants. That is my first request to all of you. It doesn't matter whatever your background is, it doesn't matter wherever you are sitting. But it is very pertinent for us to know whether you are really interested in this subject or not, or you have just switched on the logged in and doing the other stuff. That's what we happen in last 2 years in a lot of webinars. In between, we do a quiz and only 2 people do the quiz out of 50 and nobody is there. So I insist nowadays that it's very important people to at least 50% of the participants to switch on their video modes. As a speaker, it makes a lot of sense for us to interact. And my next half an hour are not going to be like a radio station that I'm going to be transmitting information. There's going to be a lot of interaction between all of us. Since all of you are senior professionals coming from 4 different states, and all of you come from the agri background. So I'm going to talk and interact a lot with you. See, this topic which EEI has kept today, why is it of relevance today? Because India has achieved record export growth in this year, and agri has been a major contributor to it. You have to realize in last 2 years, agri exports during COVID especially has achieved tremendous growth. Now, why do EIA have to organize this kind of a seminar or this kind of a webinar? The need for this kind of a webinar today is to shift and increase the export from the grower angle. We want farmers to become exporters. We want growers to become exporters. We want women farmers to become exporters. That is the focus. Not the merchants sitting in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai, Hyderabad, or Bangalore who are buying from the farmers and export. That's been happening for decades. Now there is a shift, if you see, with the government and with the EI that let's make a grower exporter. And all of you, I've seen your profile, you come from the agriculture extensions, FPOs, you are interacting with farmers on day-to-day basis. Now, if my question to all of you would be, what you want to be takeaway for you in next half an hour from my lecture? What do you want to take away? I'll focus on that. Export is a very vast topic. What do you want? What do you feel would be useful for a farmer to become an exporter?
Screenshots demon danlo computer lo.
Quick. You have to be very quick because I only have half an hour. Anything that crosses your mind.
Thank you, Budiraja sir. Actually, this is the question I wanted to ask at the end. So how far this can be practicable at the field level? So that is the essence of this webinar. So if that clarity is not there, it is waste to integrate all these people in this platform, because all these people are the gross level workers. So you are the better audience. You are the better audience to tell us what are the things that you need at the grassroots level for making these exports happen.
Yes.
Please interact.
I would like all of you to interact.
So on this part, definitely I would like to give inputs if it is permissible.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. See, Dr. Vasanta have rightly, said that the main producer community, it should be in the trade. And for this purpose, every department in government at state and center, they are promoting the FPOs as well as the organization of the farmers for specific value addition or very to address the specific problems on the ground. So we always focus that the main issue is with the market. But other than market, before approaching to the market, what other problems the farmers they are facing, that is also very important and that decides the objectives of the FPOs. So am I
What
audible?
you're trying to tell me, yeah, absolutely, you're absolutely audible. So the first problem is my whiteboard visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, the first problem that you have identified is the market.
Yeah.
When we talk about the market, you're talking about the global market.
Yes. See,
So we are talking about identification of buyers and market for the farmers.
No, it is not like that. Before approaching to identification of the buyers and all these distributors in the global market, before approaching such a thing, you must understand what commodity specific infrastructure, what commodity specific handling operations, and that skill is required. And other than that, what professionalism is required, what the trends are there in the market. The very important thing is the trends. Those
Okay.
trends, for
What
example, commodity
I'll
specific
keep
trends are there.
intervening you. I'll keep intervening in between, and then you can continue. What I can make out for your second statement is that we need to make farmer export ready.
Yeah,
Right? To make him an export ready, we need to explain the ecosystem to him, the complete ecosystem that exists for the global trade,
yeah,
in which all the trends, commodity specific verticals will become part of it.
yeah,
Am I right?
yeah,
Okay. I'll further put it into 4 different verticals and 4 different categories. Do keep correcting it for me. If I have to put it into a 4 different categories, that means I need to empower my farmer on the commercial procedures that will encompass everything. And then I need to empower my farmer on financial procedures, what kind of export incentives he get, or how he can get payment from the overseas markets, and what are the challenges he could face in getting the payments. Then
yeah,
we need to empower him in logistics, that is how to ship his goods overseas, and right, and then we got to and transport, how to ship his goods, how to package his goods, how to take insurance for his goods. Then we need to make him familiar with regulatory
yeah,
procedures.
absolutely.
Will these 4 verticals will encompass complete ecosystem for a farmer?
Yeah, that is what it is required before we focus on the trade at global level. The very important thing is that commodity specific handling and the infrastructures that must be in existence. Likewise, in Andhra or Karnataka, I have seen at the state level they are the largest producer, if you will see in India, but they are lacking in the infrastructure. So initially we have to develop.
Let me intervene here. We have just finished Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and we have won a lot of medals. In spite of a lot of infrastructure bottlenecks, these athletes have done amazing job. These bottlenecks are going to remain. If I want to build an airport today, it will take 15 years to build an airport today because I need an environment clearance, I need to acquire land. If I have to build a world-class port, it will take 4 to 5 years to build a world-class port. Even to transform an existing port to a world-class level will take certain years. We can't wait our farmers' prosperity to wait for that long. So within those infrastructure bottlenecks, how can we make new pathways and new roadways? That's what
You understand
wherever I
you
go,
understand
wherever I travel
you
to.
understand what infrastructure I am saying. I am saying the infrastructures are at a ground level, at farmer producer organization level, crop specific
Sir,
handling
you come,
infrastructure I am telling about that.
sir, I was going through your resume. You come from Maharashtra and you work with Maharashtra Grape Grower Association, right?
Not only grape, but
All the,
yeah.
I'll give an example of Grape Grower Association. 2000, Triple C happened. Farmers suffered a loss of 200 crores because of grapes being rejected from the European buyer because an information from one of the government authority did not reach them. After that, what had happened, one of the corporate today controls 90% of the grape export. Same infrastructure bottleneck. How come that corporate is controlling 90% of the grape export?
See,
So that business, which was with farmers till 2000 or 2010, have shifted to a organized entity. So this business, I want to get back to the farmer.
that is what I am saying.
This
Na?
is
Yeah,
this
See,
is
in,
Sharath
not
Nanapure,
yeah,
sir. Nanapure, sir.
yeah,
What
yeah.
sir is telling is we have so many bottlenecks. So he has some opinion that in spite of these bottlenecks, we can do exports. Let us listen from him. What is his opinion? We will see. Right, sir. Please go ahead.
how can we got to understand this? See, globally, if you see what is the trade among all WTO member countries, if we say it is approximately $23 trillion, right? What is India's share in this $23 trillion? Hardly 1.7 to 2%. And what does government wants? Government wants to make it double or approximately 5%. So look at the opportunity for a farmer that exists here. In spite of the infrastructure bottleneck, when the government is so forthcoming and they want to double, they want to just double our exports. So imagine the kind of impetus the government and the institutions like EIC are coming forward and bringing it to the farmers level. So who will make sure from $450 billion to $900 billion our export reaches? Who's going to be the gainer? Farmer is going to be the gainer. How is going to be the gainer? Until unless he doesn't get himself export ready, he cannot be a gainer. So how he is going to be an export ready? He is going to understand the dynamics of global trade. That would fall primarily into four categories: commercial, financial, regulatory, and logistics procedure. If he can become master of this one by one, step by step, he'll be an export ready organization. Then we got to help him in doing export research. Then we got to identify right exhibitions for him to participate in, and which exhibitions are suited for him, which countries are suited for him. Then we have to make him just not a grower exporter. Like currently he has a X commodity going from India to a country Y, a plain commodity trade. Can I graduate him to the next level after 2 years once he has mastered this? That if he is a buyer and he wants a certain commodity from certain other countries, because we are living in a world today where a Ukraine wheat goes to Indonesia, becomes a wheat flour, from there it goes to Thailand and becomes noodles, and from there it gets exported to 200 countries in the world. That's the global food value chain that exists today. So I want to integrate my farmer into this global value chain so that his buyer and his the flow of goods remain consistent throughout the year, and he can keep exporting throughout the year. He can even source from the other countries and export, because concern of my country is to earn foreign currency. So there are we need to show him this kind of a thing. But is he ready for this kind of a leverage, this kind of an opportunity? Can I have some feedback from some of the people who come from the FPOs and cooperatives? What do you feel? Is he ready for this kind of an opportunity, or what should we be doing about it?
Chandra Roy, sir, is a very active extension worker. He has
Yeah.
got a very good YouTube
Yeah,
channel
good morning.
also. Yeah, how are you,
Good morning,
sir?
ma'am.
How
Good
are
morning,
you?
sir. Actually, we are just now, we are creating FPOs and we are hoping to, we have already done the capacity buildings of these FPOs through
ನಮಸ್ತೆ
EPIDA. So,
ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ಇವತ್ತು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಅದೊಂದು ಅದೇ ಈ ಹನಿ
so in these sectors
Hemalata madam, sir, excuse me. Hemalata madam, please mute your audio.
sir, in this
Okay.
sector, we are seeing that India is the largest exporter, producer of millets, and the fifth exporter, I think, in this worldwide. But if we can take that opportunity, taking that millets to the global level, and you said no, we need to build up all that. What is the requirement from other countries, and what the criteria we have to fulfill, everything, and what is lacking, what I see in these today's FPOs which have the quality and quantity which need to be addressed. It is not coming in that extent, because unless until we have that quality and the quantity of the importing countries. So that is where we are lacking. I think more farmers to be coming together on this platform, or we can join more farmers, because the small and marginal farmers are mostly cultivating the millets. If we can bring about 1,000, 5,000 to 10,000, I think we can do, sir, surely.
Sir, 2023 is the millet year. So if I may
Yes.
ask you, how can I double my export of millet in 2023? What would be
Sir,
your
we can. Sir, my experience, sir, actually, to my background, I am a certified millet advisor, and I am promoting millets. And I have a website, milletadvisor.com. In that, I have written so many articles on millets. And if I say, if we can do that,
I want to be very specific.
yeah,
There is a farmer who's based
sir,
in
I see,
Karnataka.
sir, every state,
2023 is a millet year.
yeah,
I want to start millet export. What should I be doing?
sir,
Understood all that. What you're
yeah,
doing.
sir,
I'm a farmer.
okay, okay,
I'm a
sir.
farmer. I'm growing millet. I want to export. What should I be doing?
Yes, sir. Thing is that for exporting, sir, we need certain quantity, and also if we need to do in bulk. And some are still there are entrepreneurs or there are startups who are exporting, but they are doing into the process grains, and other which I see.
Tapasji, you are not answering my question. My question is, I am a farmer.
Yes,
I want to become a millet exporter.
yes,
What
sir.
is the challenge?
The challenge is the what is the importing country's requirement? We need to know that.
If I tell you now, will you convey this to the farmers? Will you put it on your YouTube channel?
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
If I empower.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir,
What
definitely.
else? One is this. What else?
Sir, what are the we need to know the what is the registration part, and all the criteria that to be required for a farmer to export.
Okay.
The documentation part.
I'll start next 10 minutes. I'll spend on creating a farmer export organization.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make it very simple, very practical for you. Because I want you to create at least 10 millet exporters in 2020.
Yes, sir, definitely, sir.
Is worth it. Okay, so I'll quickly summarize for you the creating a farmer export organization process for you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
things will become very simple for you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, and you can creatively replicate that information on your YouTube channel also. Okay.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Yeah.
First step, you are an FPO, already registered. Let's assume. First step is this. As an FPO, I assume you already have a bank account. You already have a GST number. You already have a PAN number. You already have a current account number. You already have produce available with you. And you have capability to source more produce from the market if you get bulk order. Am I correct till here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now comes the second step. I am ready with all this. Now I have to start an export opportunity. Like for driving, you need a driving license. For export, you need an import-export license.
Yes.
So you need an IC code number. Very simple. There is a government body called DGFT. Go to its website.
Sir,
The process is online. DGFT, Director General of Foreign Trade. It has got regional offices in every city. It has got one in Hyderabad also. And whichever city you are in, they have a regional authority there. Its head office is in Delhi. They issue IEC. The procedure is complete online procedure. If you want to see quickly, I can demonstrate it to you. It will just take me a second for you.
Diraja, sir, excuse me, sir. Sir, can you kindly repeat, sir? Just I have missed due to one phone call.
Okay, DGFT. Now you can see the website here, Tapasji.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now you see it's simple. On the first page itself, apply for IEC.
Okay.
It is just like creating a Gmail account. It's that simple. Your PAN number becomes your IEC number. You have to just upload these details, fill in, you'll get an OTP. All the documents that we have discussed earlier that your organization already has. That is this, and your office address. There should be a rent agreement. and there should be a telephone number. Just upload them, deposit the fee online. Within 2 days, you will have your IC available with you. So the first step, sir, now you're making your company export ready. Second step, you have a gentleman from the APEDA also, which is a very efficient organization. For if you are a multi-product agri exporter, go to APEDA's website. Same procedure, everything is online. You get a RCMC number, registration cum membership cert. Otherwise, if you have any other product, you go to spice board, coconut board, jute board, tea board, coffee board. According to the agri product you have from the respective board, you will get a registration cum membership product. Everybody have an annual fee ranging from 5,000 to 7,000 rupees per annum. Same documents to be uploaded. First document is IEC, post which you can apply for RCMC. You cannot apply for RCMC prior to IEC. Registration cum membership. Now, the moment you become part of RCMC, which the gentleman from APEDA will tell you a lot of things about, so I will not talk about them at all. So the benefits that they extend to, so the same benefit other export promotion councils also extend to you. Now we have overcome 2 major battles, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now our company is export ready. We have all these approvals. Now my company is export ready. Now what should I be doing next? Tell me as a farmer. What should be my next step? Now my company is ready.
Will we waiting for the order or supply from the importing countries?
I'll slightly disagree. Now I have to check the potential of export of the product chosen by me. Export potential. Now we have selected as millet. When I say export potential of millet, what do I understand by this? That means how much India exports, how much is the total world exports, how much is the India's share in the world's export, how many countries from India millet gets exported to, which are the largest importers of millet, at what price does millet get imported? Do these things make sense to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Because I have been working with farmers for 25 years. They say, "Saab, wo aate hain, PPT dikhate hain, chale jate hain, acha lagta hai humko." But how to use that information? So you got to give this information practically to them, how they can become farmers instantly, without spending a single penny, and from the government databases. Can I get this information from the government database?
Yes, sir.
Okay, which database should I use? Okay, I'll help you out.
Sir, we can get from APEDA website.
Okay, like we have different. First step would be, I'll take a very organic and a farming approach. The first step that we are supposed to take here is, like India's 27, 29, 30 states have different languages. We got to break this language barrier first. The millet in Hindi is something else, millet in Telugu is something else, millet in Kannada is something else. So how do I break the language barrier? So to break this language barrier, we have something called HSN codes, harmonized system of nomenclature, where every product has been given 6-digit code at national tariff line level and 8-digit code at country level. Till 6-digit globally, the code is same, post which respective countries can have a different code. But at 6-digit level, every product will have similar HS code. So the first step is to find out the HS code for millet. So how do I find HS codes for millet? So I'll take you to the source of information, which creates the information, right? Like I took you to DGFT, the source of information would be, let's go to the home page. You can get it from the DGFT website also. But in case I'm taking you to the DGCIS site. So what I have done on the DGCIS home site, if you see on the home page, right hand side, you have a 8-digit commodity classification system ITC HS code, right side bottom, where my mouse is.
Yes,
is
sir.
it visible to all of you?
Yeah.
I click on 2017. So this book will open on its own. It is divided into 21 sections and 98 chapters. So tell me, millet will fall under which section and which chapter?
Cereals.
Right. So what is it? Which section, which chapter?
Edible grain cereal it comes, sir.
No, first, see, the first section is live animal. The second section is vegetable product. That means it's a vegetable product.
Not, sir, we can, whether it's...
I'll click on this. All agri
Okay.
products would fall under from chapter 1 to 24. So 6 to 14 is primarily vegetable product. So now you were talking about millet being a cereal. It would fall under which chapter?
Sir, 10.
You're absolutely right. So I click on chapter 10. So now you have got chapter 10, which will be opened. This WebEx is not letting this open. So I'll just do the maximum. Okay, it is now we've opened it from here. Download folder section. WebEx is making this system run a little slow. But the whole chapter will get open. Can I request Siddhalingeshwaraji to put it on mute, please?
Siddhalingeshwara, sir, please mute your audio. Thank you.
Now this chapter will open up. Now this chapter will step by step will break down the complete chapter of cereals for you. So the first 2-digit grouping, if you see on this chapter, is, let's go down, is 1001. It is wheat. Now we have got to 4-digit level. Ours is not wheat.
No.
Then we go down further. It's simple. Ours is not 1002 also. Ours is not 1003 also, 1004 also, 1005 also, 1006 also. So where is millet? You said it's cereal. So where is it?
100829, sir.
Absolutely right. 1008. Right. So now we have got 1008 29 30 or 10.
So 30. So 330 is canary seeds, sir. Not.
Okay. So which is millet out of this?
Sir, 21 and 29.
21 and 29. So now be very specific at 8-digit level.
Yeah.
At 8-digit level.
8 is, sir, if you can take ragi, like 1008 2930. 30 is the 2130 is there.
So now you have the name of this product 1008 2930. Now we will use this as our reference point. Now I'll take you to another government database, which is called EIDB, Export Import Database, which is the trade statistics database. I'm quickly jumping. So what do I need? Commodity wise, all countries, because I know, come on, my product. So I need to know in 2023, tell me the HS code now, 100.
So 100,821.
821. Okay. I want to sort it on dollar and I want to sort it on country name. So what have I got here? Millet seed.
Yeah, right.
So how many countries seed gets exported to? Latest data as of today. Millet of seed. Total export, country-wise growth in volume and in quantity. See, almost to 76 countries. So what is India's total export and what is the share of millet export in this? Just 0.00. So look at the potential this has. So have I overcome your first two battles?
Yeah, yes.
Most
Sir,
difficult
actually,
challenges?
I want to ask another question. Sir, it is there jawar, ragi, which is seed. But if I need to export other millets, like we are having other.
It will go into the others category, which are not in the processed form in millet pastas, millet noodles. They will go into the food processing HS code.
Okay, okay. So process item it will go, sir.
It will go into process items.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you want to know further, I'll take you to another portal, which is a global portal. See, I have not spent single penny, and within 5 minutes, you have all the information available. Now, I want to know globally what is the export potential of millets as such. So, I have got an export potential index available with, which will tell me country wise. Search a product. Okay. Millet. Right in front of you. I am doing it. This is what we are supposed to do at a farmer level. Get 20, 25 farmers, different products, same products. We'll just need to handhold them, take it. Once you type your export product here, it will tell you which are the best markets for that, what are the products with highest market potential, which country has the maximum diversity. I only have 1 minute left, so I'm not opening here. Dr. Vasanta, over to you. My 30 minutes are over.
So we need to complete
This is a
it,
very
sir.
vast topic. So, see, basically, I can come little later. I don't want other two panelists to wait because time is of value to everyone. They also have come from their office hours. So, what I have answered your basic questions: how to establish a farmer export organization, how to find the export potential of your product, how to find the markets for your products, how to find the total quantity being exported out of India in value and in quantity terms, right? What are the major regulatory? And maybe I'll request EEIhyd to have an half a day seminar on this. Then we can keep exploring from one database to another. What my message I wanted to convey to you was exporting is simple provided you know the tools. If you don't know the tools, then it is a challenge. And we have to make sure, like a is expert in, he understand every input level, he understand weathers, he understand his soil. Similarly, we got to make him understand all these parameters of exports. Initially, it might be little hard work, but once it is done, it will run on auto mode. Next, if anybody has any questions.
Sir, it is very interesting lecture. Could you please continue for half an hour more, sir? So that
Prasad Babuji, I'll come back again because there are two more panelists. I don't want to do injustice to the program. I've been allocated half an hour. I'll stick to half an hour. I'll come back little later once they are over and I can take on. No issues.
kindly share your PPT also, sir.
There
so
is
that
no
we will go
PPT
through
in
the lab.
exports because PPT becomes obsolete in global trade. The
No, at least
quantity of
to know
millets that have been
the
exported
website,
this month will not be exported next month.
to know the at least
That's what I tell everybody.
different kinds of websites at least to know and to
I'll
search
share
about them.
databases. I'll share important 50 databases with all of you.
Sir, if you can do a favor, sir, actually, as you know, we are running for the International Year of Millets and we also require to export millets. If you can
Yes.
share 1 or 2 pages, like how we should start and how should we can empower the FPOs and the farmers, because FPO is the major criteria which we are doing, sir.
What I'll do, I'll coordinate with EEI and conduct a special program for how to export millet for millet year. Half a day.
Yeah, that will be very useful.
If directors are permits us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Training, no theoretical training. Okay. Any more questions? Dr. Vasanta, it's over to you now.
Yeah, Dr. Vijaya.
This is the need of the
Dr. Vijaya, over to you. See, if you want, I can give you a quick snapshot. Is my screen available to all of you?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. What I'll do, okay, since you're requesting for this, what I'll do, give me a second. I'll just take a minute more and I will quickly tell you.
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Your voice is breaking. Budiraja, sir.
Your approach of create. Am I audible now? Is it better now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Our aim ultimately is this, what you see on your screen, is to double the farmer income. And these are the steps that I generally tell people we need to take to double the farmer. We got to empower him on all these things. Now I'll quickly rush through this in 2 minutes and tell similar way you got to structure it for millet or for your any other product. Okay. Now, if you want to become, these are all the areas, components that a farmer needs to mention. He gets little scared seeing such a long list, but we can just empower him in 4 hours and help him do research on all these things. We got to make him understand the value chain, the complete value chain. Right from this procurement level, if you see the destination, retailer level and consumer level, what is the cost involved at each level? What is the logistics involved at each level? What are the regulatory challenges involved at each level? What are the TBTs, NBTs, everything that is an SPS issues involved at each level? And this all can be done. Then we got to help him find market identification process, export diversification, export promotion strategy, information sources. That's what I have done today. Then this is the biggest challenge, purpose which you were also facing and rest of the people also. Structure of market products, constraints of a product, opportunity for market diversification, countries competing in specific market, which countries could be potential export market, countries trade performance, find product where country has a competitive advantage, identify product where there exists increased potential for bilateral trade, prioritize market and product for trade promotion, sync it with your state agri-export policy. Today, every state has an agri-export policy. And center also has an agri-export policy which came in 2018. So you should study the center's agri-export policy and your state's agri-export policy. And see how you can milk it, sync, and encash on the incentives that are available. Then you need to understand the trade flows, competitive advantages. Then, for example, if I have taken a product coconut, since all of you were coming from South Indian states, how to become a coconut product export entrepreneur, how to start coconut farmer owned export enterprise, how to be a leading coconut producer hub, how to be a coconut export opportunities and constraint on export. Why is export diversity? Focus on export. Then after this, see the byproducts. Now from one product, how many products I have created here? Similarly, you have to do for your millets. There is a primary product, there is a value added product. If you see in this screen, how many products are there? So this is one insight I wanted to give you. I can go on and on. So I'll again stop here. Yes, Dr. Vijaya, you can take over, please. I hope to have answered his queries. Anyone else has any other query, please feel free to ask. Over to you, Dr. Vijay.
Any queries can be posted in the chat box. Sharad Nanapure sir is the next speaker. Sir, whatever Budhiraja sir has told, it is excellent. So within the four walls, but I feel that there are a lot of differences between what we speak here and what is exactly happening in the field. So
Absolutely.
starting from taking the insurance. So we would like to know clearly from you what are those challenges and bottlenecks that exist for a real-time exporter. The things which we feel very simple here may be too complicated or not possible in the field. So how you have started, sir, and what kind of problems you have faced and how you have overcome? Kindly explain.
Yeah, thank you, panelist. And see, what I understand since last 8 to 10 years, I am promoting this agriculture export. But the panelists and the speakers, you must invite from those fields. Are you audible?
Vijaya, please mute yourself.
Please speak little bit louder, sir.
Yeah, are you getting my voice?
Yeah, it's a
Slower.
little bit low, sir. Low. Sir, do you have
Oh.
any earphones or headphones?
Yeah, I'm speaking from my earphones only.
Okay, kindly increase the volume.
Yeah, it is.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So my suggestion is that, man, I have seen lot of seminars and the people who are participating such a webinars, they must have some experiences in the operations, procurement and marketing. And the seminars and the inputs should not be theoretical. So whatever the inputs I have, the seen, it is all about all theoretical. And what I suggest with the same topic is that any FPO or any farmer group, if they want to start the trade in global level or whatever level, they must do the small minor trades at their local level first. So before entering to the global level, before approaching such a export level and the dreams whatever we are giving to them, we must give them the program for the local marketing. The FPO, whatever the FPO, the millet FPO they are saying, are these FPO members, they are giving the material to the FPO only? Kindly ask them. The answer will be no. If the simple, whatever the FPO they have formed for the trade purpose or what the objective, whatever the objective is there, so not a single member is, participating in their program, in the trade program. Is it happening at the local level? I would like to ask the millet FPO. Is there the person?
Roy, sir, Tapas, sir, have you understood? Kindly answer. Sir, please repeat your question, sir.
Yeah, I just want to ask the FPO who have formed, the members, are they giving the millets to the FPO for the trade purpose? How it is? What exactly the ground status is along with this FPO?
The members of the FPO, are they trading through your FPO? He's asking, or whether they are selling it outside.
No, actually they are selling outside. Outside means if there is requirement from other state, because we have not started at much higher level. But if there is, in the last couple of years, we have seen we are giving to other states only.
See, Tapasji, why I am asking very ground question. And if you want to really a success as at a global level, you first, collect the material from your members only. You give program to them first. Otherwise, how you are approaching to the global level? Is it possible to you? Or is it possible for the FPOs? Why I am telling, ma'am? See,
there are some FPOs who are gathering and who are marketing, sir. Even that is also there.
That is really good, ma'am. Actually, see why I am telling these things, because 90% of the FPOs, they want to make the success for their trade. The problem with the APOs is that they don't know the local trade even. If they are successful in the local trade, they will develop the infrastructure at their level for the local purpose, whatever the small infrastructures are required, then they can upgrade to the export level. Then they can upgrade their skills for handling of that material. Then they can upgrade the machineries required to handle that material. Then the certification part they will understand. So these are the small steps practically that I want to give the inputs. Not as a global level, how much percentage and what registrations. That is very simple. It is a one time that we have to do for the registrations and the HS code. If you Google it, you will get immediately. The main thing is that how the commodity is moving through the local market and the international market. If they want to go further, then we will focus on the what global level quality requirements are there, what trends are there, and definitely on that I'm coming because I'm in the practical way. We have our own office in Gulf, we have our office in Singapore, we are doing the operations from Pune, Maharashtra, and we are actually in the export since last 4 years. I'm actually in the export with the volumes we are doing in the rice and the non-perishable commodities. Apart from the technical part, the very important thing is the commercial part, the finance. The farmers and the farmer producer organizations, they don't have the finance. The very important thing is that to do the trade, the finance part is very, very important. So how to generate the finance? If they are dependent only on the government subsidies, they will not do the trade. So they have to approach commercially with the investors. How to approach to the investors, what businesses, what how the investors they are offering the investments. So that is very important. So along with the technical part, the part of the finance is also important. Very specific to my topic, the half hour topic regarding the what global qualities are there and how the regulations are there and how to execute those regulations. Now we will discuss on that. See, for a layman to understand the global quality requirements, I have bifurcated the globe into the three categories where the immediately the farmer or the farmer producer organizations or the startup entrepreneur, he can understand from where I can start and what quality I have, and along with this quality, how I can approach to the global market. See, man, at a global level, we have bifurcated this globe into the three categories. So, first category of the quality of the market is the high value market. So, in this high value market, the countries like US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea, Japan, these countries are there where the high value markets are, we can say. The high value market, why I'm saying the high value market, if you approach to these countries and the markets and the buyers to these countries, the profit margin is in between 15 to 20% average. 15 to 20% of the profit margins are there. So this is the high value market where you will get the good value to your produce. So to approach to this high value market, what exactly requirements are there and what ground or the what FPOs they need to understand to approach this market, that I would like to explain. See, in this high value market, the consumers, they are 100% literate with the food safety requirement or the human health requirements. So the consumers, they are deciding what quality is required. So as per the consumers requirements, the importing countries governments in these countries what I have given, 8 to 10 countries, they are making the regulations. See, there are two kind of the regulating authorities in these countries. So one is the importing countries government, and the another one is the importing countries importers organizations. So these are the two authorities, or we may say regulating bodies. They are regulating the quality in their countries in these high value markets. So out of these two regulating regulations, the if any farmer or any farmer producer organization, if you want to start the trade, so what kind of the smallest trade he can initiate? So if anyone asks the question to these high value markets, what kind of the smallest trade I can start. So I will say then that you can start with the air shipments of the vegetables, like of a okra or a green chili or the drumstick or a kind of the combinations of the vegetables. See, only 35 to 40 acres of the land is required to start the air shipments to London or the Frankfurt or Paris daily or alternate day or as per the logistic schedule. He can plan for the high value markets. So this is the very smallest trade. So uh, uh, to approach to such a smallest trade, what exactly the steps are there to approach such a high value market? There are only 5 steps to approach such a high value market. So first step is to make the farmers list. If any FPO or any exporter, if he want to start the trade to high value markets through air shipment or the sea shipment, there are only 5 steps. First step is to make the farmers list. So do you think that by making the farmer list trade will happen? No. So FPOs, they must have somewhere relations with the farmers, or the farmer group, they must have some program with the farmer. So okra or the chili is the program to export. So this is the simple program where the binding will be there along with the farmer. So minimum 40 acre is required. So we have to make the list. So any farmer, who will compromise, who will, gather the 40 acres of land, those number of farmers are only required. So some
Sir,
farmers,
why 40 acres, sir? Why 40 acres?
why 40 acres? Yeah, good question. So through air shipment, we can plan for 1.5 to 2 tons of vegetables on a daily basis or alternate day basis, as per the air shipment schedule. So you can collect 1.5 to 2 tons from 40 acres of land. So this is how I am telling. So, with this smallest trade, these are out of these 5 steps. First is to make the farmers list, and get the second step is, get the farm registration numbers of these farmers. So we have to get the farm registration from the state agriculture department. So there are APEDA officials, sir, and they are very well, they know the complete procedures, and APEDA is the main authority, where the all farm registrations are, monitored through the state government agencies. So second step is to get the farm registrations done. Third step is the global gap certification. So this global gap certification is the requirements from the importing countries importers organization. And this is not the compulsory certificate which is required for export to the Europe. So third step is to get the global gap. Global gap means globally accepted good agricultural practices. So see, there is a block in the mind of the buyers in the importing countries that the whatever the cultivation practices those you are doing for production of the vegetables or whatever you are planning, those should be as per the global standards. Cultivation practices, not the inputs whatever you are using, but it is the management, farm management practices. Those should be as per the global standards. So if those practices are as per the global standards, we will get the global gap certification. And this global gap certification is given by the APEDA recognized certifying agencies like SGS, Intertech. These are the certifying agencies. So this is the third step to get the global gap certification. So this global gap certification is not required for every shipment. Once the buyer relations are there with the FPO, then they will not ask for the second or third year. So initially they only see the global gap certification, or even whenever we start the communication with the buyers through email, and if we ask them, if we say them that we have blah 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 quality, we have very good quality, they will never entertain to you. You must attach the global gap certification. It itself will show the what quality management practices you are doing on the ground. The certificate number is there. They will enter the number into the global gap website, and they will know the status of the FPO and the farmers who are there in the APO, and how many farms are there under the APO, and when the cultivation is happen and when the harvest will happen, everything the buyer will know. So this is the third aspect of getting the global gap certification. Fourth one is to get the residue certificate, MRL lab test report, maximum residue level lab test report. So as we are approaching to this high value market, every consumer in this market, he want to know that who is the farmer who have produced this fruit or vegetable. Before eating in Europe market or in this high value market, consumer, they want to know the producer of the farmer. Who is the farm or from which farm these produces are harvested. This is called as the traceability system. And the 5 steps which we are discussing are the part of the traceability system. So, the out of this traceability system, the fourth part is the fourth step.
What is the cost of residual certificate to get that?
Residue testing, it costs around 15,000 to 20,000 rupees. That depends on the laboratory. So, fourth step is the residue to get the residue lab test report. See, there are n number of chemicals; those are tested in the laboratory, and definitely, sometimes the farmer or the exporter, he is a beginner and he himself is in confusion that I have to approach such a different. He have a lot of questions in his mind before doing the trade. Apart from these questions, he also want to know the what chemicals he has to maintain on the farm. So it is very easy actually to manage the chemicals and to maintain the chemical level before approaching to this trade. So how to maintain this MRL level even? On that also I would like to give the inputs. There are commodity specific NRCs at a national level. So if anybody who want to start the exporting grapes, then NRC grapes is there. NRC pomegranate is there, National Research Center for Pomegranate. It is in Solapur. Then National Research Center in banana, it is in Trichy. Then National Research Center for potato, it is in Simla, in Kufri. So likewise, if you want the information on what to spray for control of the pest and diseases on the crop, so as a FPO chairman, you must get this information from these NRCs, what to spray and what not to spray to produce the crops for very specific for Europe. So they will be able to give you the inputs on the spray schedule of pesticide and the insecticides. So this is very, very, very important. So as this is our very customized trade, this is only for the 40 acres of our farmers, and from which the harvested material we will export to the London or Paris. So this is very customized trade. You know the crop and you know the pest and disease and you know the NRC, National Research Center for that. NRC for the vegetables is in Varanasi. So you approach to the director of this NRC, you ask them the spray schedule, they will definitely help out to give you the spray schedule. So this is how.
Is there any for millets?
For millets, see, maximum millets, those are naturally the rain-fed millets are there, and maximum farmers, they are not giving any spray of insecticide of the pesticides. 1-2 spray may be there, or millet research center is there. So you just Google it, because on every crop I don't have the information on the NRC, but under ICAR there are NRCs, National Research Centers, and for millet very specific there may be.
Okay, thank you,
So
sir.
So this is the fourth step. Then once the produce is ready, the private agencies are there, the lab testing companies are there who can draw the material produced from the farms, and before export, they do the laboratory test as per the European regulations, and only as per the European regulations the laboratories are. Yeah.
Lalita madam, please mute your audio.
So regarding the MRL and the laboratory test, there are private agencies and the private laboratories which are recognized by APEDA, and only those laboratories have the authority to take the samples and do the lab test reports. So at every nearby logistics airports and the seaports, these laboratories are there, and though the at any location, these laboratory representatives, they can take the samples, and there is no any issue where the farms are. They give good service and in a time manner, as per the logistics, they give the services. So once this you get this lab test report, then the everything is in place to approach to the Europe market. Even under APEDA, the system of Hortinet or very commodity specific software system is developed where the all operations are managed, monitored by APEDA even. So this is the fourth step. The fifth step is, to approach to the high value market, and one must have the certification part is that is the infrastructure certificate. So whatever the commodities you are exporting to Europe or the high value markets, those commodities must be operational, must be operated or the handled in a certified facility of infrastructure. The different certifications, for example, are the HACCP or the ISO 22000, then FSMS, Food Safety Management System, or the BRC, that is the British Retail Consortium. So BRC certificate is required if the FPO they want to sell their produce into the supermarkets in London along with their labels. Then the handling facility or the packing facility must have the certification of BRC. So this is the importance of the certifications of the infrastructures. So these are the 5 steps.
Preeti madam, please mute yourself.
So these are the 5 main steps to approach to the high value market. And we are discussing on the global quality requirements to initiate the trade. Out of this, we have seen high value market and how to approach them. These are the simple 5 steps. At the FPO level, they can plan for high value markets even. As we are tropical and subtropical climatic conditions, we can produce every quality. Definitely, we can produce and we have that quality. Only point is that we must understand the regulations, and as per those regulations only, we must have the documentation part in place along with the at the producer level or the exporter level.
Sir, how to get infrastructure certificate, sir? Please.
Infrastructure certification is commodity, whatever the commodity you are handling in that infrastructure, then that commodity handling requirements and the equipment part as well as the machinery part or the labor skill level part or the management part is audited by the certifying agency, and you will get that certificate.
Please refer some certifying agencies, 1 or 2, sir.
For example, is the SGS you can take, SGS, then Intertech, then SAI Global, Australia, TUV SUD, or you will get the complete recently whatever the certifying agencies are there, you will get it on APEDA's website, www.apeda.gov.in. Yeah. So regarding these 5 steps and the Europe market, anyone can ask the question. I would like to give the answer.
Sir, how to get the importing countries requirement? Is there separate? Is there any separate?
See, Tapasji, I am telling you, the requirements, the country specific data. Getting the data is very easy nowadays. Getting the data is very easy. See, as a FPO, we are a very small, very customized, and our volumes are very small. We are not the policymakers. You as a FPO, I don't know, are you the FPO representative or the government body? But as a FPO, I am imaging you, and as per the FPO, you focus on the whatever the volumes you have. You don't go on the national data. Don't go. It is only for the getting the direction. But to execute you as an exporter, the whatever the volumes you are looking for, and you approach with the exhibitions through the exhibitions. Likewise, the exhibitions in Dubai, the Gulf food is there. Then in Europe, Fruit Logistica is there. In Singapore or in Hong Kong or in Southeast Asia, there is the Asia Fruit Logistica. Likewise, you just take participation to this exhibition, have a space booking of one a small stall, and you present your millets. You will get the buyers. You don't go for the theoretical knowledge what we have received. So don't go for that. You just invest. You just invest yourself to go outside, meet face to face people, interact with the buyers, and all the buyers they are coming to the exhibitions to purchase the material because they are 100% dependent on us and Africa. We are the biggest producers, so 100% dependency is there. So they are sourcing round the year. They want these items round the year. But to approach to them, you must have the commitments on supply, on quality and quantity. So that is lacking on the ground. So ensure on that, and you have
Sir, sir, excuse me, sir, is there any, if we are looking at, like, if you are exporting millets as a bird feed, is there any different regulation for that, or for processed feed, is there another regulations?
No, for very specific to cattle feed in Europe countries. So as far as the millet, I will get the information. I don't have that specific information, but it may be maximum not at a nutritional level, but at a fungal level, or on a insecticides, on a contamination level or a hygiene level. There may be regulation, but not too much on the nutritional level. Likewise, in a human case or as a table purpose for the human consumption, there are a lot of regulations are there. For cattle feed, there may not.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, one small doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, you have given a very excellent roadmap for an FPO to do the business, and this is not only your vision, sir. This is going to be the vision of the government of India in the next coming years. So, if individual farmers cannot do it, it is only the FPOs who can do. But yeah, this is okay, sir. But my doubt is, sir, there are so many challenges if the produce is exported. Like, for example, the ship may sink, or the buyer may not take the produce, and it may get held up in that port. And getting that produce to India is very cumbersome, very costly. So, and if we leave that, getting insurance, that is ECGC, is also difficult. In midst of these many difficulties, can this loss is succumbed? Can the FPO can bear this loss? So, what to do about this?
No, ma'am. See, so as I told you, you must understand the trade trends. And if anyone want to do the business, the economics says that risks are always involved. So risk is always there. If you want to do the business, risk is there. But how to mitigate that risk? So today, I think I would like to give the inputs, but the today's session is on the global quality requirement. The first part we have finished, ma'am, actually. On the risk part, definitely, quality risk is there and the payment risk is there. There are two kind of the risks in the trade. So as far as the payment risk is there are 2-3 options where the risk can be mitigated. Before approaching to the buyer, one must do the assessment of the credibility of the buyer. So this is very important. The credibility assessment. Due to the internet and this communication very easy, anyone is approaching to the farmer. Now from Dubai, directly they are approaching to the peoples who are the producers. So now but the farmer or the FPOs, they must understand the credibility assessment. So there are some private agencies who are doing the or who are giving the services of this credit assessment report. So once you initiate the communication with the buyer, then you cannot do the assessment of every buyer. So you understand at your own level the credibility of the buyer. You may ask him his license. You may see his what infrastructure he have for the distribution of the material. Once he import the material to that country, do he have the warehouse? Do he have the transport system in place along with him? How many years he is in the market? You may ask such a question to the buyer, or you may ask him to have you done any import from the other Indian exporters? Kindly give me the references. So such a questions you may ask at your own level. If he is sharing his license copy, or at the next level, as a FPO exporter, when you are planning for such a huge investment, you must visit to the buyer side, to the buyer country. You must see his uh, the how he is importing, where the containers are placed, how the distribution is happening. You may visit his warehouses, you may
Sir,
interact with his
is it possible for each and every FPO, sir, to do this kind of
uh,
inquiry,
uh,
going there and all? So how is it
it's
feasible?
without doing this, and there is no need for every FPO to go for the international market. And if they want to go with the international market, they must do these things only. Otherwise, doing the trade on computer, it is not ever possible. It is not possible because the confidence and the faith in between the human being is only possible by interacting face to face, and by seeing is believing, as we know. That is, even in this business, it is very important that you must visit, you must go, you must understand, you must invite him as well. Lot of European buyers, they are ready to visit to your place, and they want to see how the operations you are doing, what infrastructure you have to handle this material, how the farmers are connected. They are ready to visit. They are eagerly, they can come down to the ground. I can arrange that thing. I have done this such a 8 to 10 buyer seller meets previously for the FPOs and the farmers. There are 15 to 20 examples under my organization who are doing the trade right now. So definitely, because this is the investment, and as the risk is involved, and the trends are there, so you cannot break the trend. So you have to visit. It is like that. So this is the one part.
Please share quality risk mitigation also, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah, on the part of the payment risk, this is the at the individual level what I told. At the service level, the services from the very reputed organizations like Dun and Bradstreet is the world's largest service provider of the credit assessment report they are giving for any buyer. So they have the complete data of the buyers and the credibility data. So you can
What is the
approach
name?
to
Sir, what is the name?
Dun and Bradstreet, DUN and BRADSTREET, Dun and Bradstreet. So this is before approaching to, not as a before approaching, but before signing the contract in between the buyer and the seller, before signing the agreement or before sending the material, you must approach to this Dun and Bradstreet and get the credit assessment report. So this is how you can secure the trade. Even sometime we rely on our friend circle, or sometime we have the relations in importing countries, and on the words only, sometime we send the material. So in that case, what happens? Most of the times cheating happens, and we are not able to do anything. So even in that case, you may, block the buyer at our Indian customs through the Supreme Court. So, by filing the case, and this is a long procedure actually. So, this is another way to secure the payment. But, as I told you, the initial steps, credit assessment and meeting the buyers and then doing the trade. Also, you must ask the buyer for the different banking instruments. That is very important. Letter of credit kind of the instrument is very important to secure the trade. So now the another part of the risk is the quality part. So in most of the cases, very specific to perishable commodities, lots of times the buyers, they are denying on the quality part. Whatever the material you send, buyer says that no, the 10%, 20% quality is not there as per the agreement, and there is no any option. You cannot argue with the buyer, and in that case, the losses are there. As the profitability to such a markets is 5 to 10%, and if the buyer says that 10%, 20% quality is not there as per the requirement, then exporter is, he is in loss only. So lots of, new exporters, they face this issue at international level. So how to mitigate this? So you must involve the third party quality inspection agencies. So there are very reputed agencies which are doing the quality inspection at destination as well as at your warehouse. If the case is of perishable case, then this quality inspection is at destination port, and if it is a non-perishable case, then you can do the inspection at your warehouse before loading the container. So this is how you can manage the quality risk, and in the agreement you must mention one line that quality must be accepted by both the parties as per the third party quality inspection report. So before sending the container, you must mention this line. So this is how you can manage the risk. Okay. So as per the request
Please
of
share some of the quality inspection agencies names, sir.
the same one that as I'd given the SGS, Intertech, these are the companies, they work only in quality. So they do the audit of, they give the certification of the infrastructures, they do the certification of the farms, they do the certification of the quality on the ports. These are only SGS, Intertech, TUV, SUD.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So now I will come back to on the quality requirements at global level. We have seen the part of the first part, that is the high value markets and the quality requirement. So the second world, that is the second global part, is the mid value market. Mid value market means there is the average profit of 5 to 7% only. And the market and the countries are the whole Gulf, Africa, Russia, and Southeast Asia. So in these markets, there is no any such a stringent criteria as far as the Europe is there. Europe or US or Japan, they have very high stringent quality criteria and the regulations. But in the second quality, segment, the countries only they look the definition of the quality in their mindset is the physical quality, and not at the nutritional level, but it is a physical quality only. So whatever the buyer is asking here, as far as the high value market is concerned, we have seen that the quality is regulated by the importing country's government and the organization. Here, quality is not regulated by the governments. Here, the quality is directly controlled by the buyer only. Buyer defines the quality. Whatever the buyer is asking the quality, you have to do the trade. That's it. If buyer want the organic material, then you must load the container of organic only. If the buyer they want D grade quality material, you can do the export of D grade even. So our mindset of the export is that export means only quality. It is not like that. Don't, just remove that block. Every quality can be exported. Only thing is that your buyer must accept that quality. So in Gulf market, I have seen, we have our office in Gulf. So we are seeing that whatever the quality, even we are not purchasing for our home purpose, that quality is also exported in this market. This is the fact. So don't have such a block that export means very high quality and only quality can be exported. No, whatever you have, you can explore the market. You can approach to the buyer that I have such a quality. And if you are accepting this quality, you can initiate the trade. It is like that. So this is how the market is there. Only physical quality, mostly 90-95% cases, physical qualities are there. That means if in case of the onion, the buyer is asking that I want 55 mm plus size of the onion. Sometime buyer may ask, I want 30 mm size quality onion. So there are also some kind of the onions where the split onion is there. In Marathi, we say that dubarka or kind of the thing. So that onion is also exported. We have seen that. So that onion we are not purchasing for our home consumption even. So every quality is exported, only just you confirm from your buyer side that this is the quality. Or if the buyer is saying that no, I want only A grade quality, then you can pack only for the A grade. So it is like that. So I will say that this is the second category, that is the mid-value market, where the volumes are exported and the quality is regulated by only importer only. Not too much government regulations, like there is no any requirement of the farm registration, there is no requirement of the global gap certification, even there is no much requirement of the infrastructure certification. You can pack the material, you can handle the material at your farm only, like in a shade or in a tarpaulin, and on that even most of the operations those are done only on the farms. So uh, this is what you have to understand before approaching to the global market. So what exactly, because all operations are changed, all the knowledge and the skill set at the labor level, it is changed. So investment part also gets changed, so even transport part gets changed. So every aspect is changed with this market. So third market is the low value market, that is the Bangladesh, and the countries are Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Pakistan. See, the quality, whatever the local trade we are doing, likewise we are sending the material from Hyderabad to Delhi or from Bombay to Bangalore. Locally, whatever the trade we are doing now, the same way, the same quality, the same mindset, same packaging, along with this, you can do the trade with Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. So there is no need of any shelf life management, mostly. Whatever we do in the case of Europe, we do the pre-cooling, cold storage, and every shelf life management operations to maintain the quality through the transit. So those operations and that kind of the uh, a handling facility is not required for such a market. So this is the low value market with the same kind of the margin, percent of margin as I told in the Gulf case. Only thing is that here the operational cost is very low. So here in mid value and the high value market, you have to go with the sea shipments only. And here you can plan for the logistics through the rail racks or the by road transport, you can plan. You cannot, you will, see whatever the global trade is happening, 30% of the Indian export is happening to only Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan. So where our trade is well settled, you must approach to that countries. Immediately, if we are focusing on the FPOs should approach to the local market, and if they are thinking on the export, then they can start with the Bangladesh, Nepal, and not the Europe. So this is my very practical inputs, and would like to give such inputs that they must initiate with the local market, and then they go for the low value, then mid value, then Europe, like that. So this is all about the global quality requirements and the regulations. And if you have any question, you can ask them. Yeah.
Yes, any questions from audience, please? I can see some of our KVK and data scientists here. Madan Mohan Reddy, any questions? Or any other people? We have so many active participants from Tamil Nadu also.
Okay.
Sir, global gap certificate, is it to FPO or individual farmer, sir?
Pardon?
Global gap certificate requirement to FPO or individual farmer, sir?
No,
So
it is a individual farm certificate. So here, FPO have to take the initiative to get the farm registration and the farm certification. See, if the single farmer approach to the certifying agency, the charges for the certification is very high. But as a FPO, if you approach and if the volume is there, definitely the charges will be on at a 25%. Yeah.
reduce the cost only to approach FPO. Is it
Yeah,
correct,
that will be very good. That FPO must approach to the certifying agency, and they must give the list of the farms to the Global Gap certifying agency, and have a negotiation with them, because these are the private agencies. It is not a compulsory government kind of a fee. You can negotiate at any level, and they can do it. Yeah.
Here, I have one doubt, sir, question.
Yeah.
This is Dr. Madhubabu. Actually,
Yes, sir.
suppose FEO would like to organize buyer-seller meet. So,
Yeah.
is it advisable to go for commodity-specific traders with traders, or in general we can go, sir?
Sir, commodity specific will be better way, sir, because
Okay.
traders are very specific. They want to approach in a very specific for very specific commodity. Even if you take a single commodity, buyers there are again a very specialization. For example, if you take the onion, Bangladesh trend is different, Sri Lanka trend is different, Dubai trend is different. Even Europe trend for Europe they need 60-65 mm plus 2 kg packing in a bulk with the. But in case of Gulf, you will see 40-50 kg packaging, 18 kg packaging, all operations complete different. So it will be better to go for the specialization.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, one small query, sir.
Yeah.
If the government wants to take up this exports in a large way in future years, so from the starting from the ground root level, from the FPOs, what has to be started first? Is it the capacity building, or is it the arrangement of the infrastructure, or how it has to be initiated, sir?
So we have to approach with there must be an integrated approach, ma'am. And you cannot say that we can do only capacity building, or we may not say that only the infrastructures we can develop. This is the integrated approach and a simultaneous approach with the along with the FPO's capacity building. We have to build the capacities of the authorities as well. The authorities which are in this system, that is also required. And I would say that commodity specific clusters must be developed, and a common facilities must be planned, commodity specific common facility centers, where the FPOs, they can bring the material, they can do the grading, sorting and packing, and they may do the local or export whatever they want. But as a beginning, commodity specific clusters and the cluster specific handling and the value addition infrastructures under a common facility must be developed. So that, yeah.
Yeah, please, sir. Sharadji, I have one more doubt, sir. Actually, I had discussion with some of the responsible persons of FPOs for some other purpose. So just now recently, actually in the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, NABARD is promoting some of the FPOs, sir. So once so many FPOs, they have started trading also, but now they are in the opinion that So NABARD has to still having hand holding and support in future years also for some other things, for which, what is your opinion? Suppose NABARD is promoting and then at the initial years in order to strengthen the FPOs. So afterwards, I personally feel that FPOs themselves, they have to just build their capacities, or with the intervention of some other organization, they have to grow further and initiate trade and all. Even at the stage of doing their trade, they are in the same opinion that still they need something from NABARD.
See, farmers and the FPOs, they will never satisfy as far as my experience is there, sir. I should not say like that, but they FPOs and the members, they must understand the what is their crop cultivation cost is there. Why I'm going to such a root level? They must understand what is their crop cultivation cost and what benefits they are getting. The point is that as we are in the real trade, farmer is never thinking that what the profits they are getting or what the losses they are getting. So they don't know what profits they have earned. So they are in the state like that they must get the funds for their capacity building or whatever they want. They want only funds. That is the mindset, and
Okay,
you
sir.
cannot break the mindset that they will never. They will ask only funds. That is the main thing. But once they are in the mainstream of the trade, they will not ask for the funds. Till we have to assure that they should be in the trade. Once they are in the mainstream of the trade, now they will never ask. So
Yes.
till then we have to give the support. That is
Yes.
the thing. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, when we look at the rice exports, the rice exporters, these people are procuring from the mills, rice mills directly. So the
Yeah.
farmers do not know that their rice is getting exported. So this is where the problem lies, sir. So who will educate them that if you use so much of profenofos, your consignments are rejected. So if you use this tricyclazole, so many consignments are rejected. That has to be educated to the farmers. But why these traders are not procuring from the farmers by making them aware is if this depends on the MSPs. If that depends on the MSPs, and because of that MSP, they don't make the farmer aware that it is going for export. So how this problem can be solved, sir? There should be a separate mechanism for this export, starting from farmers to the top level.
See, ma'am, rice commodity is a very basic commodity like rice, sugar, potato, onion. Every person needs these commodities on a daily basis. And also, we are the largest producers. As this commodities requirement is on a daily basis at every home, at a global level, at local level. So this trade is a very vast. A single rice commodity is another side, and all other commodities are at another side of the coin. So if you will see the trade trends and the big investors in this industry, a very big, you cannot imagine the how this trade is happening. We are loading the containers of the fruits, vegetables, and other commodities. But in this case of rice commodity, the whole vessel is loaded like 12,000 metric ton, 25,000 metric ton, the contracts of 50,000 metric ton of a yearly supply. Such a kind of the huge contracts are there. And in such a case, if the FPOs and the traders they want to ensure the quantity and the quality and the commitments, then these buyers they approach only to the rice millers, not the paddy farmers. So paddy farmers they must be the rice millers. Then only they are able to approach to the international trade. Then and then only they are able to do the trade. Otherwise, they will not be in the mainstream of the trade at any time. They must be the miller. They must have the warehouses to store the paddy. They must ensure the quality of the paddy and they must ensure the quality processing. Along with this, they can approach to the buyers. Buyers, they will come down to the rice mills, but they must go for the rice milling. This is very important because rice mill is the point where the trade starts and not the paddy farm. So even these rice, we can approach to the high value markets of US. Our rice is, imported in the US, even in Europe. but they need the, even as I told you, the very common things of, certification, infrastructure. So this rice mill also need the infrastructure certificates, as I told. It's the same ISO 22000, BRC, or these are the common things. So a very big trade is there. Buyers are there. They are always looking for these commodities. They need on daily basis. But these are the facts.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Any other doubts from participants?
Sir, and to ask, sir, in which trade you are doing, sir, in Maharashtra, sir?
In
Which are
Maharashtra,
the
see, in Maharashtra, we are doing the trade in onions. We are doing the trade as though we are in Maharashtra, but we are doing the trade in rice. So in non-basmati rice, in basmati rice, even in the wheat and the maida, these are the basic commodities where the trade we can secure through the banking instruments. So if the FPOs they want to initiate their trade, definitely I would like to support from the ground, because before entering to the trade, I have promoted this trade through my organization, FFID, Forum for Integrated Agriculture Development. So even I was ex APEDA. I was working in APEDA earlier as an advisor in New Delhi office. So definitely I would like to support to these FPOs, but they must have some handling, or they must have some commitments before approaching to the trade. The commitments of supply of their material to the FPO. So this is very important.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other doubts? So there is a long way to go, sir, in this export business. As you have rightly said, they should have some kind of domestic business experience. First of all, that is lacking among the farmers.
Yes,
Now, international business means it takes a lot of time. Wherever the CEO is very active, I think this is definitely possible.
Yes, ma'am.
Vijaya, can you please go ahead?
Sir, please share your PPT so that we can forward to the rest of all the
See,
participants.
Really, I don't have any PPT. I just want to interact and give the facts. As I'm in the trade right now, I don't have any PPT, but the previous,
At
whatever
least a
the.
brief note on the.
Yes, at least, sir, it was very practical. And then because you are there in the right situation and how to make use of the situation, how to promote it and all, at least as our director EA is requesting, you can suggest some important points through a note and
Thanks, that's all.
supply to
Sure,
director EA so that it will be useful to all of us, sir. So
Sure,
really,
sir.
your experience is very nice and it is important for us.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Definitely, I will make the PPT, and whatever I have, I will share, sir. Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Or else those 5 points which you have 5 steps.
Yes, sir.
You have stressed like a global gap certification, MLR, and all those. So
Yeah.
highlighting those 5 steps. So you please, if you could give a brief note on.
Sure, sir. I would
Discussion.
like to. Yeah,
It will be highly helpful to all the participants.
yeah, sure, sir. I will give the brief note on every.
Because
steps.
it's very, it's not theoretical, it's very practical oriented, so that the
Yeah.
participants will be benefited from it.
Sure, sir. Sure. I will give the proper.
Yeah. Thank
Sir,
you.
one more request from EEI, if any of the FPO CEOs are very much interested in doing exports, these people now they will go and teach those people. So if they come forward, please try to help them. Would you like to share your number, sir? Can we give your number to them?
Yeah. My mobile number is 9503 896369.
9503
89
89
6369.
Dr. Vasanta, you can keep in the chat box.
kept, sir, already posted.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It's a very.
Thanks.
You have just illustrated your all practical approach.
Yeah.
Your experience of putting
Yeah,
into every.
participants also, we are very thankful to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharad ji.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
all.
much, sir.
Yeah.
You have explained trade in a very practical way, sir. What
Yeah.
are the quality risks and financial risks and payment risks? You explained very well. And what is the high quality market and low quality market? And what are the products we can trade with different countries? You have explained very well, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, sir. Sir, please be available for up to 1 o'clock, sir. We will have, if anybody have doubts, you can clarify, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Now I welcome third panelist, Sri Nagapal C. Lohakare, sir, to give talk on role of Apida in agriculture and horticulture sector.
Good afternoon, all of you, and especially Director Export Extension Education Institute and their team, just providing the such type of platform to APIDA to aware about the role of APIDA in exports of agri and agri product. Literally, when we talking about the COVID period, when all the sectors or the export sector, service sector, goods sectors have been stopped due to the COVID pandemic situation. But during that time, APIDA peoples come on the forefront. We literally act as a telecaller or the open or the telephone call center to help to all the exporters in order to maintain the domestic as the global supply chain. So if you see the graph of the export
State
during the
level meetings
pandemic and even after the
so,
pandemic,
Sharad sir, Sharad sir, please mute your audio.
yeah.
So when all the global sectors, all the commodity or service sectors, the particularly stop their activity due to the COVID pandemic lockdowns and the crisis period. At that time, the people's from APIDA officials, they just open their the call center and helping to the farmer to indirectly helping to the farmer in order to maintain the global as well as the domestic supply chain. So during that period, if you see the right now the after the pandemic, the agriculture sectors is become one of the emerging sectors, and in the first time after few many years, the agriculture sectors have showing the more than 20% GDP in the Indian economy. That means even the COVID pandemic period or even after the COVID pandemic crisis situations, agriculture sectors the emerge as the very good the opportunity for the exporters, FPOs to focus for the export activity particular. That is one thing. Secondly, when all the in the global level, if you see the COVID situations at that time, all the farming community at the global level, they are just in the ideal situation. They are not gone out of their house for the agricultural field operations. But in our situations, the situations and requested to the government of India to ease the activity for maintaining the supply chains, right from the seed supply, that is inputs, and the other agri produce also. So you can see the graphs always the India the graph in the agri exports is increasing from 21 billion dollar to the latest the 25 billion dollar. Continuously we are increasing, and every world the global the supplies is looking towards India. The India is a constant and reliable supplier even in the crisis period also. That means when the freight cost, air freight costs also have been shoot up at the sky rate, sky rocket rates. Even though we are able to maintain the global chain as well as the domestic supply chains also. So in that period, so APIDA the help to all the existing as well as the new startup exporters also. So here the role of APIDA particularly comes into to the develop or to encourage the new startups. Even they might be the FPO or they might be a new agri startup incubators. They want to know the all the crux, all the importing countries requirement. In that we come forward and giving the even hand holding. In from our the regional office, PIDA Hyderabad office, we always trying to find out the good peoples. Those are really required the hand holding for making their export segment successful. So when you want, you are targeting the international market. So my the request to all the participants, you should be a smart. That means the smartness about your either packaging, either prompt delivery, or shipping the produce on the prompt as per the delivery schedule between you and your importer. If you are really a means firm, the importers or buyers in the importing country, let us come towards us. We will make complete hand holding for making your successful the shipments as a commercial pilot basis. For that we are regularly doing now. In the COVID the periods, so many IT guys approach towards us. They get more contacts from the various peoples, from the direct office officials or officials. Then they have taken all the guidance. In the recent last year, one of the Alvin Global company, that was the IT guys who has the e-commerce platform in the US market, Canada market, and this season, particularly the Baganpalli mango has been reached across all the corners of USA. Just this one of the US based NRI guys, they have taken the help, the time to time advice and guidance from PIDA peoples, and successfully he has established his business from the sourcing the product to get the clearance, how to register the orchards with the government officials, what type of the certificates is required, the who will provide the phytosanitary certificate. All this information he time to time taking the guidance. Whenever he stuck up at that particular point, he immediately called to us. So we give the suggestion where to go, how to facilitate her, how to get the certificate, how to register with the plant quarantine system. That type of the facilitations we are always doing for the new startups. Really, the just I was listening since from the beginning. The one of the corrupt persons are asking how to the explore their millet and millet product into the international market. So my the suggestion to the persons, to if you targeting the millet and millet products in any country, to first focus or identify that which market you want to enter, that you have to select. Then you have to understand their fooding habit, what are their consumption patterns. So as such, raw millet cannot be they are eating, because if you are targeting the foreign consumers or the Indian ethnic people, you have to understand their fooding pattern or consumption pattern. Accordingly, you have to prepare your backward the chain of the products, particularly product line. Either if you are targeting the ethnic peoples for the millet and millet products, so of course ours the eating habits and their the Indian NRI base is the same. But if you are targeting the white peoples or the American or Britannia peoples, you have to understand their consumption pattern. So accordingly, you have to prepare the product of that particular millet for the as a value addition. Then you can penetrate, or you can dent into that market with a specific share of that product into the country particularly. So this type of the knowledge needs to be gathered, or do the desk research before entering into the international market. That is one thing. Secondly, any new startup exporters, or if any new FPOs want to establish the market linkages or enter into the international market, they should have to select the proper or the tight forwarder, particularly who are well versed and sound knowledge about the international logistics. That is one thing. Secondly, on behalf of you, means you people cannot directly start the export activity. You can able to prepare the produce as per the importing country's consumer requirement. But the whole product or whole the material, you cannot be move from your factory to the importing country's custom bonded area destination. For that, you require chain of service persons for that particularly. So proper selection of the custom house clearing agents or documentation agent, that is one thing. Secondly, the proper the shipping lines also is, it is one of the important parameters to get the success. Then freight forwarders, because time in international or the domestic level, if you are targeting or the agreeing or making the agreement between you and the importers what delivery schedule of your product in that particular point, it is the duty of the your freight forwarder or the customs clearing agent to make the hassle free the documentations as well as booking the cargo space and timely deliver to the produce of your produce in the importing country's buyer. So for that you to take the proper peoples. That means though export is a fancy word, but you have to be proper and smartly select this type of people. Those are well aware and acquainted to get the shipment cleared from the custom bonded area in the importing countries also. So this type of the information, though if you are thinking the export is a very the complicated word, but so far if you are yourself personally go through this research, I don't feel so key the first shipment you will get the lot of hurdles, because we people are here to support you in all the aspects. In case of the that means the what type of documentation required, how to get the phytosanitary certificate, that all we are providing the hands-on the phytosanitary services, that we are means always giving the information on time to time basis. Because suppose today you are taking a lot of information, but when you are actually execution any or processing any export order, at that time you will never find any such people will be support you or to help you or making the hand holding to get clear your the export shipment. So in this the total process of the exporting or export of order, processing of the export order, so we people always be here. Let us do call us. Already we have shared I have shared my coordinates with you. Even any AFIDA officials will help you from the for getting the export shipment clearance, because we are already bound to do the service and make the export promotion. Then another way how APEDA doing the new activities, like now we are targeting and focusing the promotion of the global vocal to local, like the GI product particularly. In that way also we are just making the how to make the brand of our the geographical indicated product particularly. For that we are already organizing in association with the ITPO or Indian Trade Promotion Organizations for the exhibition, the geographical indicated products which are already we have in the agri sectors, that we are organizing that type of the international trade fair in Noida in the coming days. In that we are inviting the GI the associations or the GI certificate holder and their GI the GI the particular products to showcase their product. In that we will the invite to the Indian the various the missions which are all settled in Delhi. In that we invite them to showcase our strength of the GI product from local, global, and vocal to global. And that type of activity we are reading, and for encouraging and to set up the new the export related infrastructure, we have a scheme. APEDA always providing the financial assistance schemes for the global gap certification implementations also. Then if anybody would like to set up any export related infrastructure for horticulture or the agriculture produce particularly, we have a scheme component particularly for the individual exporters. Even the for the the export of particularly horticulture produce to the European countries, there is certain the requirement, the importing countries requirement. That means the whatever the horticulture produce you are being sent to the European market, that should be the process packed and sorting graded in the APIDA recognized pack house. The list of that this pack house is already available on the APIDA websites under the quality icon. So you can go through that. Even but so far the exports of the agri products to various country and their importing requirement vary from country to country. So whenever you are targeting any country, you have to go thoroughly, specifically, and the in the beginning the HSN code, which are the synchronized for all the attracting the custom duty of that particular for that particular product in the importing country. That you have to be choose that particular under which the HSN code you would like to send the products. And you have to be undertake first prima facie before entering into the export markets. So before entering into any export, just I would suggest here to look the successful or the success stories, particularly of the FPOs. If you see the example of the Sahyadri farms, which are having the really a good the FPO who are already involving on their the export activity earlier in the year 2001, 2002. They are under little bit the financial crisis, but they have taken the lessons, they have taken the failures of that but during that year, and now they have emerged in a diversifying their basket, export basket. So likewise, you have to study their the success model, or the under which model they are doing the exports activity. That you need you people as a FPO, you need to be think on this. Now again, just I am touching to the next year we are celebrating the year of millet particularly. So in the millet we already trying to mobilize our exporter to source the material particularly. But now what happened, when we are mobilizing our exporter for sourcing the millet, raw millet, or the primary processed millet, but they are not getting the quality as they are asking for the secondary processing particularly. So when we are targeting for the international markets, so we must have to understand what are the quality parameters for that particular product, and that quality parameters particularly differ from country to country. That this is not necessary ki this your standards are worldwide or globally accepted by all the countries. This is not the particular the standards of your product for means adhering to all the country. That means your the importing countries, the requirement of the importing countries vary from country to country. So my request and suggestions to all the participants, those are interested to the marketing of their product through the FPO, they have to choose the first target, choose the country, target the country, and accordingly work on that in that line, so that the you have to also understand the purchase sparing capacity of that particular the consumer who where you are targeting on that country. So accordingly, even the payment terms and conditions also, again I am just repeating the earlier the speakers their views particularly, because whatever you are doing, you are just doing for gaining the foreign exchange. So the when you are targeting any country for the export of the your product, which are means which are the going to be export for that particular country, so you have to see what are the payment terms. That is one thing. Secondly, then how many incentive, what are the export incentive are being provided by the government of India. So This is also again some countries we are the government of India encouraging to enter into that market. For that specific export incentive schemes already available on the website. Particularly now the requirement, particularly now if you want to which country having the potential. So in the first speaker they have explained in all very means a very short manner to understand the potential of that particular product in that country. So even APIDA also maintaining the database which are free freely accessible to all the non-registered members also. So under Agri Exchange portal, if you go through the statistics, if you want the specific HS code specific database, that is also available on the APIDA website on free of cost basis. No need to also register. So Agri Exchange portal, another the database which is already available for the benefit of the exporters or the new startups also. So this type of the informations, even the importing countries information if you required. So like in India, Food Safety Authority of Food Safety and Standard Authority of India is the agency who monitor the import activity in same way in the other countries. Like if you go to the Saudi Arabia Food, Drugs and Administration Authority who monitor the maximum residue levels, or they have defining the MRL level of the each and every pesticide for the to safeguard the health of their consumers or their country peoples. So according this type of the agencies already available at the international level, so that you can directly either visit to their websites, or you can take the membership of the one of the paid websites. Already they have compiling the database, global MRL database, which is the Brian Crescent, that website. They already they are providing the near about 136 countries MRL database, but only USA countries the MRL database at the free of cost. But if you want to other the maximum residue level or pesticide level of that particular country, so you should have to become the member for them to understand their importing countries the particularly MRL database. So likewise, this type of the information already available. Even if you want to see the which are the pesticides globally banned, particularly, so if you visit the Pan International Pesticide Action Network, that the website, so you will find all the list of the pesticides which are banned by the various near about 136 to 176 countries. That pesticide list already available, and that is all available on free of cost. But you people need to be have the patience to extract the information through the Google search engine, and you have to take a lot of desk research to go before entering into that market. So accordingly, you can I don't feel so key in the first step you will become the disappointed. But we are here to make the hand holding, and to we actually always we are trying to create every 2 to 3 new startup exporters. Cause of the society, noble cause of the society. So this type of the even if any particular all the information, particularly pertaining to the financial assistance, are already available on APEDA websites. If you go through the financial assistance schemes icon, you will find the guidelines on that export infrastructure. Three categories like the development of export infrastructure, then the quality development, then market development. If you go to the development of export infrastructure, we are providing the financial assistance for establishment of the integrated pack house. That is either up to the 40% of their project cost, or maximum ceiling limit of rupees 2 crores for integrated. If you have already existing processing line with you, if you want to upgrade as per the importing country's requirement, for that also we have a component that is up to 40%, or the SC, if the entrepreneur is SC, ST or woman, in that we have given the 75%, or the state is landlocked, in that also we are providing the 75% the financial assistance to the individual exporters. Even if you have already the processing facility, you don't want the missing gap component, but if you want to upgrade the system, the export infrastructure, so in that also we have the scheme component. So this type of the schemes under development of export infrastructure, if you being as an exporter, if you want to avail the financial assistance from APIDA, you must be a registered member, manufacturer or the merchant exporter. So as for for the merchant exporters, so only in that the financial assistance schemes, APIDA has the one of the scheme which can be easily availed by the merchant exporter, like purchase of the reefer van, or mobile pre-cooling, or the livestock carrier for the slaughtering the animals. That type of the financial assistance, that is up to also the 40%, or in general category. And if the entrepreneur is SC, ST, or the woman entrepreneur, or the entrepreneur from the landlocked state, in that we provide the 75% of their project cost, or maximum 2 crore. So this, under this schemes available. And secondly, in quality development, we have the scheme component. If you want to implement the food safety management system plan, like the HACCP, ISO, Global Gap, or BRC, we have a scheme that is up to also the 50% on 5 lakhs per beneficiary or per exporter. So this is also, then that too also you have to implement this food safety management system plan from the APEDA recognized foods, APEDA recognized the foods, the food safety management system certification bodies, particularly, that already we have hosted on our websites. And food safety management system implementation agency also we have hosted on our website. So for that you can avail. Again, if you want to import the germplasm which are having the export potential, and which can the materialize and leverage the that crop into the export activity. So for that also we have the scheme component for the financial assistance to the individual exporters or the institutions. So for that we have, again, the under the market development, we have the this scheme component for the development of the registration of your brand into the international markets or outside the India. That one scheme is also available with us. Then if you are want to develop the C protocol for the horticulture produce for the distant market, in that also we have the scheme the scheme component available with us for means to overcome or make up the losses which has been incurred by the exporter during this trial shipment, or to stabilize, or to make the export protocol for the distance market, C protocol for the distance market. So this type of the schemes available with APEDA. Any all this information whatever I have shared with you already available on APEDA. Even if you are going to be start your activity, and if you are stuck up at any point, do call us. We already providing the so many the exporters particularly information, first time information. Sometimes we also request to the concerned authority to get the hassle free the exports of the new startup exporters. So this type of the role of APEDA in export facilitation, so we are doing, I think I want to listen from the participant what type of the face difficulties or the requirement you are asking from APEDA. Now I think this is all from my side. So if any query particularly, or any particular questions, or the importing countries requirement is asking by any participants, they can ask me.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, good afternoon. Am I audible, sir?
Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, as you mentioned that the importing countries, like in terms of millets, the importing countries requirement is not been fulfilled, and that is why they are facing problem. Sir, as per experience, what the problem or what the criteria or the parameters they are asking, the importing countries are asking, as we are also in the coming days, we are also in a move to start or value-added products to the importing countries. So what are their requirement as per experience, so that we can build up in that way?
As on date, so far the whatever the millet exporter touch with me, actually what are the those are the exporter majorly they are doing for the Europe and the USA market for the value-added product of the millet particularly.
Yes.
So far there is no any such particular stringent requirement from their sides as on date. So far for the pesticide residue particularly.
Okay, but there are many startups and very I have seen many companies who are already they have very good position in the US market. Like if you see in the organic market, if you see 24 Mantra is also exported to the US markets, and I see like millets like Mana Foods, they are also exporting. I see also from India the bird feeds are also going to the other like Maldives and Singapore, all that countries that is going. And if that is been fulfilled, means whether, and also I have seen that from Apida last year they have been facilitated from the barnyard millet has gone to the Uttarakhand, from Uttarakhand to the other Vietnam. So there are many stories like that. But as per experience, what you think that we are unable to meet the requirement of the importing countries? Is there any issue in that, sir?
No, right now there is no any issue particular so far millet is concerned. So for millet is concerned, due to this the as a superfood or the wellness, everybody is not means they want the particularly the millet in their as per their requirement, either in the value added product or the raw millets for further making the noodles, pasta. So the no one exporter have reported any difficulty particularly. We are always contacted with them whenever they are shipping any the millet based products. So so far no one is reported to us. So if you people would like to start the export activity, you can immediately start the export activity.
Yeah.
There is no
Sir,
issue. But
okay, sir, as I see other millets like they are requiring processed millet. I have gone through many who are requiring processed millet, because if you see like country like Canada, the importing countries, they have much not developed as our millets which we are having. They are only the millets which are grown in their countries are only for the bird feeds, and for the processing and for the to cater that they also need some processed millet from our country. So if we can get help from Apida also, we can surely do that, sir.
if you have buyer approach towards us, we will make a successful exporter. Don't bother. If you have confirmed buyer, and in now see, whenever there any commercial terms comes, we never involve in that. But total handholding, if you have of the assured buyer and the payment terms assurance from your side, just approach towards us, contact to us, we will help in all aspects to make the successful shipment for your first export as an exporter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other queries from audience? I think queries will be there if they are handling FPOs who will enter into the export business. Then they will get all the queries, not now.
Actual practically when they will start their activity, then they will understand. But it's a very easy, but it's a very smart work. So
Yeah.
for export is concerned, it's smart work. You people should be smart.
Dr. Vasanta, if you notice something, all the participants and all the speakers and the panelists, what they have spoken about, what it comes out to be the touchstone of success of your export business plan will depend upon how accurate is your database, on
Very
how
good.
well have you created your checklist, how well
Exactly.
you are aware of all the stakeholders involved in the play. If you see in each speaker or each panelist or each question, there is a new stakeholder that is emerging. whether it is a quality inspection, whether it is a credit rating agency, whether it is MRL databases. So what I have done, I have listed a few websites where people like couples can get instant update if there is any change on MRL databases.
Excellent,
These
sir.
are global
Very good.
databases, Standard Maps, ePing Alert. They're all free. I've listed 7-8 for them
Ah.
because they have a lot of quality and MRL database issues. You just list your product, they will keep getting them updated.
Oh.
So you got to make sure in the complete value chain, what are the actors, stakeholders, responsibilities, risk involved in the pre-shipment stage, post-shipment stage, and during the journey of the shipment. So 3 stages you got to identify. Who are the, if you'll find there are almost 40 stakeholders right from the producer to the consumer. And there are equal number of documents that are involved. And there are equal number of stakeholders they are involved. So we got to empower all these FPOs. Within the FPOs, we have to create a hierarchy that who, according to their inclination towards marketing, their inclination towards quality, their inclination towards document, their inclination towards regulatory party. We have to create a responsibilities among these FPOs who will be handling what, to create a successful export business plan and export success strategy for them so that they can graduate from domestic seller to international sellers. And there are numerous success stories that we have created in last 2 decades where today I have got people who are exporting worth goods 100 to 150 crores. They were not, they started from scratch. Only thing is we created a checklist for that. And I always tell people, don't follow Google. If I tell Google I am Dr. Vasanta and everybody likes it, so everybody will believe I'm Dr. Vasanta, right? Go to the government databases because it is very important. What APEDA is listing is a government website. What a private website lists the same, it has got no legitimacy. You cannot challenge it in the court of law, right? So that's the reason when it was an HSN code, I took them to the DGCIS website. So nobody can challenge it. So that is very, very important. All the resources should be of the national government or the destination government. For example, for Europe, Tapas was I asking. So I have listed RECIF, which is responsible for all European inbound portal. They have a portal. You put your product, they will tell you all MRL things. Similarly, you have got USDA, USFDA, USITC. They give for United States. Similarly, for Japan, you have Taiwan, you have every country has it. And for pre-shipment inspection agency, there is a TIC council where every inspection agency of the world is listed. Similarly, there is a credit rating agencies. The best is CRISIL, which is an Indian, ICRA, which is an Indian. And then you have got ECDC, which itself does free of cost for farmers. You give them the name of the farmer, ECDC will do it free of cost. They have a categorization of buyers and countries in terms of A, B, C, and D. So that's how you need to work. Then try to find friends and families overseas who can pick up the sample of your product from the hyper stores there and get them to India and see how those packages are designed, what is the price they are selling it. Whoever the friend is going abroad, Tapas ask them to buy millet samples from Costco, from whoever, whichever store in whichever country they are going to. That's what we do tell farmers. Just see what they are buying, see the quality, see the packaging, see the pricing, see all the in real time what are the accreditations there are on those packages, and it doesn't cost much at all. Okay, just to in a nutshell. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Vasant.
Sir, I want to add something. So actually, EEIhyd has done good work in that. They have initiated a tool like Millet Finder. So they have included a lot of countries who are bringing this product into the international market, so that they need to know how this product looks and what are the ingredients they are putting into it. So it is that it's a good answer. Millet Finder, we are getting better result from them.
Any more doubts from the participants? If there are no doubts, shall we conclude the webinar? Director, sir, with your permission.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Sir, ma'am, I'm another thing I want to add into this, that actually, if I see the international market in millets, as many are confused on the names, that to be, I think in the international year of millets, all the countries, like they will be putting something, a particular name as per the name of which will be accepted by everyone. That is the one factor which I see, sir. And another thing is that the quality which has been means till now, the parameters like this should be, it's not developed much in terms of millet, where other products they have been developed like vegetables or all that. In terms of millet, like nutritional value or maybe what should be the content and how much it should be polished, what should be the color, that is also been not identified. So it is also creating problems. So these two major things which I see in the broad term when it's coming to exporting of millets.
See, I want to give on some inputs on the millet, very specific. Tapasji,
Yes, sir.
so regarding the quality, packaging, even the certification, documentation, everything, every information you will receive only from your buyer. Buyer
Okay.
is the final authority to receive everything. So
Okay.
don't ask anywhere, don't go anywhere, don't be confused. You just approach to the buyer rightly, you share your quality, and he will ask you, I want this document, I want this certificate, I want this lab test report, I want this grade, I want this machinery and the certified machines. This is very simple. See, as far as the millet is concerned, it comes under the grain or the small size. So
Yes.
you want to go for the graded millets for the trade, you need the sortex machine. So
Yes.
without that machine, without that handling packaging system, you want the packaging system, the polythene bag or the whatever the packaging that millet they want, that system need to be placed at your ground. Only the millets in the raw form will not serve you as a trade purpose. So this is
Okay.
don't be confused. It's very simple. I'm telling you, you just approach to the buyer and ask them what exactly is the requirement on the part of documentation, on the part of grades. Very simple. No any
Okay.
database. You will give the information. Datas are for the research purpose. Datas are not for the trade purpose. Datas give only direction, but data will not execute the trade. For execution, you have to approach to the buyer. The real
Okay.
people, real people's only you have to approach.
Okay,
Data
sir.
will get the confusion. Everywhere the data is, lots of data is there. Why this? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there are, yeah.
okay. Before giving the formal vote of thanks, I would like to thank Dr. Amit Budhiraj as well as Sri Sharadji and Dr. Nagpalji for an excellent inputs you have given for our participants as well as students, the faculty, especially to create an effective ecosystem, export ecosystem. What are the logistics that we have to understand, intricacies we have to look at, and how to bridge the gap between the buyer as well as the producer through maybe through FPOs, or how to create a line for easy and hassle-free export marketing. And as well as here, what the space for the domestic marketing, those who can excel in the export marketing, first what I feel is they have to excel in the domestic marketing. Now we are almost touching 140 crores. That means almost 40% of the global population is lying in our continent. So if we touch that, first if we excel in the domestic marketing, probably the same can be explored in the international market. So that's the one input from my personal side that I want to give. So anyhow, I would like to thank the three panelists. Really, it is an enlightening and informative. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for your time also, which you have spared your precious time of forenoon of the 19th August. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, it's a time for a formal vote of thanks. And this is the first time in EEI that the entire webinar went on without PPTs, and it has happened excellently. Really, this is what we have to continue in future also. So I profusely thank Dr. Amit Budraja sir for his message that empowerment of farmers is needed on complete export ecosystem. Sir, your views on making the exports happen in midst of so many bottlenecks is really laudable. And you have practically shown the audience on how to get the IEC and HSN code, etc. This is what is needed by all of us, sir. Thank you so much. And heartfelt thanks by EI team to Sharad Nanapure, sir, for your practical guidance in making a roadmap for both the FPOs and government to initiate the exports. And your statement that products can be exported irrespective of the quality as per the consumer and country requirements is very much encouraging for the beginners. It's not that they maintain a poor quality, but it's a kind of motivation. What we all think is export standards means that is the ultimate. So it need not be. Just like domestic marketing also we can do for some countries. This is the new thing that we have learned from your message, sir. And so that these beginners can be encouraged to start their exports to less stringent standards imposing countries rather than focusing on European countries in the first go. So, and also initially the basic level activities you have presented that are to be done by FPOs who are beginning their exports is excellent, sir, really. And your information on risk mitigation in exports is very much needed for all the exporters, sir. And once again, thank you so much. And EEI Hyderabad congratulates EPIDA chairman for the excellent service they are doing. Nagpal sir, he is the best speaker. He gets very good ratings in all the sessions he handles at EEI. We have given him an appreciation certificate also. And so you are doing very good services, sir, for exporters in spite of very less staff that you have in almost all the states. So in spite of that, you are doing very good service. And and his presentation is totally practical based. That's why participants like it. And your services in arranging the buyer seller meets and providing infrastructure to exporters on subsidy basis and their capacity building programs that you are arranging are endless and limitless. So many activities you are doing, we know it, sir. And the APIDA officers are those who can understand the limitations and challenges both from the government side and also from the farmer sides. And keeping these things in view, you people are continuously trying to give the hand-holding support, which is very much laudable. It's very difficult also, sir. So thank you so much, sir, on behalf of Extension Education Institute once again. And I personally thank all the speakers, Dr. Nagpal sir, Dr. Amit sir, and Sharad Nanapure sir, for readily accepting my request to help one of my PhD students who is doing his research in rice exports. And I thank all the audience for their participation through Cisco WebEx platform and YouTube. I request all of you not to miss these kinds of trainings or webinars or seminars conducted on exports, because this exporting through FPOs is going to be your next target fixed by the government. So as one of the speakers has rightly said, first of all, we should get empowered. Then only we can train the farmers. So don't miss these opportunities. Try to attend all these things. And I thank Dr. M. Jaganmohan Reddy Garu, the Director of Extension Education Institute, a very dynamic and young director we have. So he is the one who has taken lead to arrange these kinds of webinars, sir. This is the first time in the history of EEI to arrange these kinds of webinars in which we can see participants in hundreds of numbers and getting benefited. So sir has elaborated all the earlier webinars that are organized by EEI, and also I thank his guidance in guiding both of us in selecting the expert speakers and also audience. So I finally thank our technical team who worked behind the screen for making this program a grand success. So thank you one and all. Thank you so much. And I request all the speakers to kindly accept our invitations to be our resource persons in our future trainings.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank the webinar in charges also, Dr. Vasanta and Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, who meticulously planned and executed. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
And we declare the webinar is terminated and concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.